Guys. So for I know Brad's not particularly I guess he's not gonna watch it, but he definitely should because
I'd like to
even
watch it at
even
some point.
for even for like you non-aviation lovers, uh if you like a strong solid movie, this is it. I'm not gonna lie. And for you aviation lovers like myself, you're gonna absolutely fucking love this movie. Cause again, for those of you that just grew up loving planes, loving aviation, loving fighter jets, loving all that other goosey goose stuff, uh, it's a solid movie, and it's a pretty damn good sequel for Top Gun because obviously it brings back Tom Cruise, which if you know Tom Cruise, how he started, I'm sure a lot of people could say that Top Gun is probably one of his like most significant roles in his filmography. So it's good to have him back into the fucking fighter jet. And I'll be honest, guys, like even though I was kind of like a little wearied out by like the amount of cast that was not returning, because obviously in the movie on Top Gun Maverick, you have two actors coming back, one being Tom Cruise and one surprisingly being Val Kilmer. I don't think that's a spoiler.
Ooh,
He was already like announced
really?
in there. Yeah, Val Kilmer did come back,
Wow.
despite his tough battle with throat cancer.
Yeah.
So it was real surreal
He's
to
had
see
it
him back.
rough.
Huh? He's
He's
taking it
had it
rough.
rough.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely had it rough. So it's good to see him back into the film. Um, who else? I know that there was one in particular that I was really surprised with, which was Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer
Mm.
Connelly, I think, is playing, if I'm not mistaken, Penny, which is supposed to be like that lost love interest of like Maverick back in the first movie. So it was kind of like weird, really weird to see it because obviously the previous actor of Penny is fairly old. And Tom Cruise drinks the blood of children, so I mean, obviously he still is healthy as
Oh
shit.
my god.
But nevertheless, they got Jennifer Connelly, who probably also shares in that dark arts. So by all means, they decided to throw those
Bro.
two together. So
Bro.
nevertheless, let's talk about the
Oh
let's talk
man.
about the fucking plot. Pretty much what happens is it's about 30 years after the events of Top Gun. So obviously, Maverick's already saved Iceman. There was that big old skirmish out in the sea, and afterwards, he was offered a role to be an instructor at Top Gun. But 30 years down the line, he left Top Gun and ended up becoming like some sort of experimental pilot. And he did that for a while. And pretty much what happens is that he gets kicked out of that for doing Maverick
Mm.
shit. So, for lack of a better term, he ends up going back to Top Gun on orders, which is like supposed to be a thing in the movie.
Mm.
And he was pretty much assigned to pretty much create a team of like six of the top graduates over the last 30 years of the Top Gun flight school for the direct reason of a special assignment that they were assigned to. Now, I won't go into further details in regards to the plot, but that's pretty much what happens. And overall, like the
They fly
story, like
planes,
over
they do Scientology stuff. It's
no, okay, Scientology has no factor
I'm
in this
kidding.
fucking movie whatsoever. But what I will say is, in regards to like a script and the story as a whole, it does a pretty good deal on it. It does the story really well. And I will say that the plot in and of itself is pretty good. It's pretty much just old flight trainer gotta teach these new pilots to do a dangerous mission. And there's a whole lot of drama, whole lot of like secrecy, and a whole lot of love interest intertwined. And it's just like I gotta say, you pretty much felt like it was just like another great '80s movie, and I really definitely felt that in this particular film, especially with the way Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly all acted together. It was definitely like an '80s like love interest thing right there. But I did feel like they kind of just throw that in there just for the fuck of it because the whole man of the plot was primarily based on Maverick's like quote unquote last mission
Mm.
and him trying to like still wrangle with the fact that of his lost wingman Goose. If you guys didn't know, in the first
Yeah.
Top Gun, Maverick obviously loses his wingman Goose in a freak accident that was not his fault. So he's still reeling into that guilt here and there. But throughout the fucking movie, one of the candidates for this special assignment happens to be Bradley, which is played by Miles Teller,
Me.
whose call sign is Rooster, and who is also Goose's father. So, with that aspect,
He's Goose's father?
he's Goose's father. Yeah. He's Goose's father, and Maverick basically has to train him to be
Wait.
able to be
Wait, wait, wait,
accepted
wait,
to the
wait.
special assignment.
Miles Teller is playing Goose's dad?
No, sorry, Goose's
Oh,
son.
you
I'm
mean to say,
sorry.
okay, I was like, what? I was like, hold on,
Yeah, I fucked it up. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is.
I was
But
really
nonetheless,
confused. Sarah even said no,
Bruce
Goose's son.
Miles
I
Teller.
was
Oh
like,
my god.
wait a minute,
Thanks,
what?
honey.
I was really confused. Also, I need to see it. I've heard really, really good things. It's funny you had said that a minute ago, Miguel. It
It's a
kind of made me
real
think of it.
solid movie, man.
I had seen somebody on Facebook earlier today that had said it was nice to have, like, this felt like a classic 80s, 90s, 2000s, like a summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
And they had even said, which I know a lot of people bitch and moan about Marvel. Marvel's taking it, whatever, shut up. But like, I think, I don't know, it is kind of cool though to have that classic summer blockbuster feel too, because he had made this person, I don't know who it was, had made the point of like, um, it's nice to have a summer blockbuster movie that's not a Marvel movie, you know what I mean? Or a comic book movie. So I don't know, that's pretty cool. So I've heard a lot of great things.
Yeah, and pretty much that's all I can say about that in regards to like what this movie takes, like how this movie holds weight throughout like this year, and like in regards to like summer blockbusters. I gotta say, this may be one of like the biggest blockbusters of this summer. Now, obviously, there's Marvel stuff
Mm.
coming in, but in regards to like outside of Marvel, because if I'm being honest, I do take Marvel out of the equation when it comes to like these types of blockbuster movies. Because obviously Marvel is something. Marvel is like a outlier of box office slams, because if it has Marvel, it's gonna hit the box office no
Yeah.
matter what. So I always find it interesting watching all these other movies that I like to set that are like not particularly Marvel, or like trying to build a world. Like I like to see what they can do and see if they end up becoming a blockbuster. Obviously, Top Gun Maverick, I gotta say, is probably gonna smash the box office, and is definitely gonna be
Well,
a blockbuster for this summer.
it already is. I don't know if you saw the news today, and I actually just pulled it up. I pulled this up on CNN because I wanted to get the exact figure. So this is not only Tom Cruise's best opening. This was the first time that he had $100 million opening in his career, but this movie made an estimated $156 million domestically for its 4-day Memorial Day opening weekend. So that's what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, no, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yes, that Memorial Day weekend opening, those 4 days made 156 mil, and it actually overtook. It overtook the biggest Memorial Day opening, which was Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End in 2007, which made 153 million. So it just
Sit
barely
on that,
overtook.
Johnny. No, I'm kidding. I love you.
It barely overtook Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End,
Yeah.
but it's kicking butt, man. It's definitely.
Yeah, that was
People are
something that
definitely looking forward to it. So
that was something I was definitely like really worried about, because I remember like I decided that I want to watch this movie like on a whim, and I was like, Sierra, let's just go watch it, and we decided to go watch it, and on our way there, it hit me like a freight train. I was like, oh fuck, we're really about to watch this movie on Memorial Day. I was like, this is gonna be a fucking trip, but luckily the
yeah.
seats were decent, so we were able to get a decent spot in it.
Was it
And
packed
when
in
I
there?
it had a good group of people. I gotta say, it wasn't packed, because if I'm being honest, there was like fucking like 4 or 5 theaters just for Maverick.
Yeah.
So obviously we got lucky and we got one of the other ends. But when you say that you want to watch this later on, trust me, dude, this is definitely a theater experience.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
could, I really would have watched it on Cinema XD, Regal, or something like that. Something with like IMAX or like all that surround sound, because trust me, the beginning of the movie, it thrust you into the fucking air
Yeah.
carrier. You are watching everything as it is, all fighter jets, all actions. The first 5 minutes is nonstop, just pure adrenaline, and it's fucking amazing. So yeah, it's definitely like a movie going experience. and you pretty much just feel immersed in it. I shit you not. There are multiple scenarios in this movie where I was gripping the seat, I was holding her hand, I was like, "Fuck, this thing's getting really hairy, man." So, but I will say that even with like all of the actions and fighter jet sequences, which by the way, I know people are always keep saying like Top Gun 2 Maverick is by no means accurate to the fucking movie, to like actual like naval air force. That being said, yeah, I can agree with you on that. I don't know naval pilots. I don't know the true aspect of it, but what I will say is that Tom Cruise and the crew of this movie tried their damnedest to make this movie as authentic as they can, which
Yeah.
means zero CGI and zero special effects. It
Well,
was
and he's
purely
super into
in the
stunts and stuff, you know.
yeah. So it was a big move for him to just say no to CGI. Let's just fly these fucking planes. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, Tom Cruise can fly a jet, and he owns a P-51 Mustang. So this man obviously
Yeah.
knows how to fucking fly a plane.
Yeah.
So
Sierra said, I mean, we could go watch it again in IMAX. Go
hey,
up
I'm down.
to
We'll have
Newport and
to
watch
do
it
it.
in IMAX.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down to watch it again. I will say that. I will say that this is oh shit. Well, I guess we lost Brad. So nevertheless, I'm gonna keep talking about Top Gun then. Because obviously I have zero control over this podcast. He has it. So if I'm out, I guess. So but nevertheless, in regards to Top Gun Maverick, again, with the fighter jets, he really put in his work with the crew. And I will say that when it comes to like all the fighter jet experiences and sequences, I gotta say
I literally have no idea. I didn't touch it. I have no idea. I was listening to you, and then suddenly I was back on the screen, and I was like, what? Where did I go? So I didn't do it.
that's fine.
At least it wasn't J-Dead this time. J-Dead, if you're watching,
I know, right?
it was
Did
me
you
and
block
not
your
you.
own
At
self?
least I did it to myself.
You
So,
blocked your own
anyways,
self?
continue, my friend.
Okay. So back to the jet sequences. So Tom Cruise obviously has the training and everything of what it takes to be a pilot. That being said, all the other actors like Miles Teller, Glenn Powell, Monica Barbaro, and like all these other like candidates for this top secret mission, they were all thrown into the into training as well. Like they needed to get firsthand experience of what it feels like to be in a fighter jet,
Yeah.
and that type of like dedication to put that work in to show what it feels like to be in a fighter jet
Right.
is without a doubt one of their. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be one of their like most memorable moments in their acting career.
I'll tell you, I really like Miles Teller. I didn't like him as Reed Richards. I thought he was very much like, we got to go fight Dr. Doom. And he was just like, okay. Like he felt very like, I don't know. I didn't like, which everything about that Fantastic Four movie was literal garbage. But I do like him as an actor. Like, let me ask you this. It's been ages. Again, this is part of the reason I'm not like racing to go see it in the theater right now, because I would need to watch the first Top Gun again. But how is like the character continuity like going? Not, I mean, obviously there's good continuity, but like the natural progression. Like, do you believe that Maverick is where, like, future Maverick is where, like, it's a logical progression of where that character went and what he did with his life?
It does. It does make sense because from the aspect of like Tom Cruise itself and the story of Maverick, obviously after the events of Goose and him going through that dogfight, he obviously gained recognition. So he obviously was able to give pretty much wherever he wanted to go, and he had that opportunity. But obviously, as you guys know, if you guys are big fans of Top Gun, Maverick is going to do Maverick things. So obviously, he
Yeah.
fucks himself over in many positions, or he shoots himself in the foot all the
Oh,
time. So
oh,
there are multiple situations where it was a funny thing because like everyone was talking about like where are we getting at here, dude?
you said he f's himself in many positions.
Oh, okay, yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, there are multiple situations in this movie where you can definitely see Maverick being Maverick, even after flying experiences. So that being said, yeah, his progression is pretty good. I love the dynamic between Miles Teller and Tom Cruise because that storyline between like Maverick and Rooster is very, very there, is very strong. You can definitely tell that there's like some tension between those two over
Yeah.
what happened with Goose and some other things that happened throughout Rooster's aeronautical career. So there's some pretty big stakes in this game. So, and when I say
Very
this is
nice.
like this is Maverick's like last mission, you definitely get a sense of that. And there are definitely plenty of callbacks back to the old, back to the original Top Gun. Like I said, it feels very 80s. It feels like a summer blockbuster. If you're going to this movie, just know that whether you're an aviation lover or not, this is going to be a fun ride. 100%. Stacked cast too. Like I only mentioned like the candidates, but you also have like Ed Harris and John Hamm in this movie.
Oh,
Like
I
some
really
pretty
like Ed
sturdy,
Harris.
yeah, some pretty sturdy cast members in this movie, and some refreshing new actors that I've honestly have no knowledge of whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I was kind of nervous at the time whenever they just kept like advertising Top Gun, because usually when they advertise Top Gun, like when you advertise a movie and it's like thrown into your fucking face, it's a probably good chance that it's not gonna fucking hit. But
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. Dare I say that Top Gun Maverick is probably better than the original Top Gun. And I would say that, with some
Bold
confidence.
words coming from my co-host tonight.
So
Bold words.
that being said, I'll let you wait for for you to watch it if you want to give it a rating. But for me, try my best. I hope I didn't spoil anything for you guys. I hope I gave you enough things to think about so you can want to watch the movie with open eyes. But for me, if I had to rate this movie, I would give this a solid like 9.3. Pretty high.
I give it a 267 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And the reason why I gave it a 9.2 was obviously because I am biased. I will say that because as an aviation lover, I love this movie just right off the cuff. But 9.2 because honestly, I was kind of surprised with the fact that they neglected to use some of the original soundtracks. Obviously, the Top Gun theme song is in there. Don't worry, they didn't remix it or whatever. It's in there.
Dude, one of the trailers, like it was one of the earlier trailers, like it showed the planes in the air, whatever, and it did like the legit, like the Top Gun music, and like
Mhm.
hearing that in a movie theater was like, oh,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
really nice.
yeah. So I was kind of disappointed with the amount of like how much they neglected to use original soundtrack, but I get it. Tom Cruise said it in an interview. I think he said he wanted to make something authentic for this movie. Like he
Yeah,
didn't want to just do like a sequel. He wanted to make some authentic in this movie, which is something I think a lot of like directors and producers and actors really kind of miss the
right.
mark. It's like every single movie is itself. It can't
Yeah,
be just a continuation of something else. Obviously, there needs to be continuity. That being said, but what I'm saying is like each movie should hold its own weight. It shouldn't have to rely on certain aspects of a previous movie or another spinoff.
right.
It has to
A
hold on
sequel,
its own
a sequel should hold its weight as its own sequel. It doesn't. It shouldn't have to rely on the others
as
in
its
order
own
to.
installment, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
So
with that.
so that being said, yes, Top Gun 2 does stand on its own. 100% will be a blockbuster. Um, I guess since Sierra's like into it, we're gonna watch it again, huh? So we're on
Sweet.
it.
Sweet deal. Speaking of Sierra, she says, I asked Miguel what he liked about the movie, and he obviously came up with a lot. Genuinely couldn't come up with anything he didn't like other than the song. And then she says, lack of the one song. What one song? What are you
It
talking
was
about? What lack of a song?
so it was so like okay, so if you guys know, I'm sure you guys know, if you guys are a Top Gun fan, you know that with the whole like Maverick and Penny relationship, anytime they fucking look at each other and they like stare at each other's eyes, fucking Cyndi Lauper is like Take My Breath Away comes on. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
my
Yeah,
god.
it comes on every
Yeah,
single
yeah, yeah.
time you hear the do 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 do. Like that's fucking dope. I swear to God. I'll be honest. Fuck Romeo and Juliet. This like fucking Maverick and Penny was my fucking Romeo and Juliet. That was my
Get that
first like,
Shakespeare out of here.
yeah, fuck out of here. That was it for me. Like that was like romance to a peak, I gotta say. Obviously not, I'm sure psychologists could rip that shit a new one. But every time they looked at each other when they would speak and that song came on, it's like, yep, you're gonna break my heart right here. I know this is a failed relationship. But yeah, that was the only thing. I was really surprised they didn't use it. But nevertheless, Tom Cruise liked something Lady Gaga used. I think she made an original song for it. I heard it at the end. I thought it was really well. I thought it was nice. I'll probably listen to it later. I'll probably check it out at some point. But what I will say, I'm kind of disappointed that "Take My Breath Away" was not in there. But that's why it's a 9.2. Still high up, but if they added that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how fucking high I would go. The amount of notoriety it's getting right now, man. It's all across the world. People are wanting to watch this movie. Like not even domestically. People like everyone across the globe wants to watch this movie.
Right.
And it's very rare you see a movie that's like obviously gathered so much popularity within like the first couple of days of the box office. And I guess I could say that because it's also been in productions for like over 4 years, right? Like since the pandemic. Like it was supposed to come out like over the summer before the pandemic just decided to rail us in the ass. So since then it's just been delayed. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that helped it out a lot too. So a lot of anticipation for this movie. They definitely beefed it up. They definitely hyped it up, and I will say that they definitely stuck the landing.
Sweet deal, man.
All pun intended.
Sweet deal.
The first laugh was genuine. The second or third was bullshit. Fuck off.
We got more crap as we went on. So there's Miguel's top review. That's what I was about to say. There's Miguel's review of Top Gun Maverick. Glad you enjoyed it, man. I'll have to check it out. I'm always down for a good theater watch, so we will definitely have to check it out. In a minute, we are going to talk.